Okay, hey guys, welcome to another trade review. Today, gonna review this long position trading with 950 macro injunction to the silver bullet model, and as you can see, when I entered, price really gave me a hit. But you know the rules is always if you use a consecutive entry or fair gap, you take the lowest approximately entry, but you allow it to trade back down to share. As you can see, I highlighted it because it is permissible for it to do so. And this thing it does here is actually just trading back into a higher time frame discount, which is a 3 minute or 5 minute BC, which is permissible, and we have the intermarket looking not really favorable. That's why I was just looking if price really wants to give me what I'm looking for. And then this at this instant, this candle here, the midpoint of it, this tail, the midpoint of it, price failed to reach it here, and then I'm looking immediately this candle. I want to see it leave a swing low. Okay, so you can see I'm typing it live right here. A swing low with a signature of weakness, which is the midpoint of this tail. We do not want to see it trade back to it, and we want to see prices leave the parallel gap that we use for entry right now. At first I was thinking, should I use this for entry? But then after this parallel gap appeared, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use this for entry, and my stop is gonna be my stop is gonna be below the mean threshold of this order block. And yep, price is pretty much giving me what I want to see. So right now, after price trade past this week, making a new high, we would expect all this down close candle to act as an order block. So right now, I'm looking at it, seeing does it support price, and I'm also looking at this week right here. I want to see midpoint of this week, which is the consequential encroachment. I want to see price just smoke it, just disregard it, and then treat it as discount, then treat higher to the whole new week opening gap high. You can see it's the 24th of May, new week opening gap, and then we have the 12th of June, new week opening gap here also. So it's a very powerful confluence, especially when we are so close to it already, and then we have time plus what pre-market do. Pre-market low was taken out during the 9:30 Judah swing, and then we have a break in market structure. At first I was looking this to use it as my entry, but since we are trading a opening range that open in a discount, it's very likely for price to trade that higher. But yeah, it could have been a nice entry, but then I was thinking on more confirmation, and then when price done this could have been another nice entry also, but I was looking for more confirmation again. So yeah, guess this was my problem, but it's okay. I'm gonna take this entry couple of time. This whole trade, this whole narrative that I outlined was easily more than 300 points, to be honest. Okay, right now, do we see price make a new high? Okay, we have this fire gap in the ES right now. So what I want to see is Nasdaq just hold its high, and ES I want to see use all this price. This is fire gap. I want to see it not fully close it, not fully fill it. I want to see speed from right now. Expansion creating the same high as Nasdaq, and you can see we have that. and Nasdaq just reached, just kissed the 12th of June. 12th of June, new week opening gap, and when it happened like this, you might be thinking, yeah, I'm freaking out. But to me, I'm looking at this consecutive candle, down close candle as an order block, and I'm looking at this fair value gap. It wasn't filled at all, coupled with this big one wasn't filled at all, and then we have the weak right here. This weak consequential encroachment. After it violates it, I want to see it used as a discount only. So nothing wrong with the price. In fact, we have a small volume balance right there, and price did not even bother to use it. So it is very bearish at this point. Plus, we have intermarket supporting us. So right now, I want to see price. Just spoke to the draw on liquidity. Just expand higher, and definitely I was looking at price. I was looking at all these old new day opening gaps and the old presented fair gap, and we have the event horizon right here. Definitely all these can be nice terminus, but always pay the trader because I can't take partials during this size as well. So this whole trade idea was built on this fair gap wasn't fulfilled. Then we have, yeah, this one. Now that I look back, it's like it was a very nice entry, but since you decided to wait for more confirmation, so just execute the trade because I sat in front of the charts later. So had I said earlier, definitely this would have been my entry because I was bullish all along as well. And what we want to see right now is prices showing strength after the signature of strength, and it give it to us. So probably anticipating for a fair value gap to form right here, and price need not fill it. And you can see I'm pulling my TP towards the event horizon, but yeah, I do have a tendency to do this, and every time I do this, I know that what I have to do next, and you can see what am I going to do next. I'm still going to close my trade manually at where my initial low hanging fruit objective was, because pulling the stop loss right there, pulling the take profit right there, that is definitely, it's not really great, but it just feels funny, like when you're gonna hold for extra 50 points when you already can bet 100 points, which is really secured 100 points. But if you hold for the 50 points more without paying yourself, if it turns back on you, you end up not gaining anything. So to me, it makes sense, really makes sense to pay the trader, because paying the trader is always profitable. And I'm just looking whether if price want to give us more power, but then I was thinking, nah, it's fine. I just gonna pay myself, and then I'll call it a free ride. Pay myself, and I'm just going to see if price presents us the event horizon, which is also a high time frame week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so continue. We're gonna look at this fair value gap to act as a measuring gap, and you can see that right now all this is all demo, so don't have to be too harsh on it. Just looking for a very easy trade in my demo. Nevertheless, yeah, just with this trade, regain my I got off my drawdown also again. And looking at my this month performance, I made like 8% this month, and that is why I decided to just close the month in profit, because fixing a drawdown, just fix it, and then building in plateaus. That time I was listening to ICT podcast. And what if you build your equity high, and then but you are already using the minimum leverage? What do you do? Well, that's what demo is for. And yeah, so that's what I just did after that, because you can see this is a 23rd of June trade, and that is actually my last trade. That is really actually my last trade of the month, because I decided, you know, to be really contented. But you can see I'm going to pull in projections from, so you can see why am I looking at the 29750. And yes, I was right. It was a hourly week lower quadrant, so paying myself there really makes sense. And you can see later I want to show something that, yes, pulling standard deviation of -5, and what do we get? So it's here and here. Notice that I'm using the bodies, because this whole thing is the pre-market range after price done the manipulation. So just running standard deviations to see how far can price potentially go. And you can see 0.5 level right here. Look at my mouse here, 0.5 level, -0.5. Standard deviation coincides with the hourly week midpoint. And tell me if that's random. And also the upper quadrant of the hourly midpoint also coincides with the event horizon. Tell me if that makes sense. If it's makes sense, is it random? If something makes sense, is it random? So, having studying ICT for more than 3 years, I would say. Yeah, I'm a slow bloomer, but I am looking at crazy progressions, like being able to outline traits like this, being able to know when do you do something, when do you not do something, and when do you really cut back your leverage, because this is one thing very, very important that I believe. And you can see there we have it. It's in the bag. 750 done just like that, and reach the upper quadrant of the hourly week. And yeah, I did take a late entry, but so what? Even with this late entry right here, train towards here it's way more than 100 points. It's really close to 200 points. And the fact that I was outlining price even before the opening range 930 to 10, that's just magic. You can see close to 300 points outline, and I have done it so many times right now that being right isn't enough. And you know that ICT have a podcast talking about when being right is not enough. And yeah, when it's not enough, what you do? Well, you basically have to do what you're just gonna do, which is manage risk, teach yourself to be really disciplined with the model, with the age, and do not rate yourself, do not hold yourself back. I was having outing with my friend, and then he was saying about, oh, he used $1 to make $100 in his some kind of side hustle, but it got me thinking, if you know, with all my trades like that, would I boast about it? No, definitely not. Because no one needs to know how much you make. No one needs to know what progressions you are at. No one needs to know anything. And that was a very nice, very good reminder for me, to say that, yeah, it's all the ego. And if you're not even aware of the ego, if you're even sharing, if you're even boasting, it means you're not there yet, right? But well, it's true that no one's there yet. But even though if someone is there and they're boasting about it, so be it. Because I just know that I'm not going to be like that. Because I know if I'm going to be like that, it's going to hold myself back also. So it was a very nice reminder. It was really out of the blue, but yeah, this was a very great trade. And after that, this was pretty much the last trade I done in June. So just securing a profits of 8%. I made 8%. I'm not taking account of my drawdown, but I just made 8% just like that. And guess what? This is progression. You make some, you lose some. Sometimes you reach it, sometimes you make lesser. You know, just looking to be profitable, right? I'll see you guys in the next one.